Welcome back, students. So let us understand about the second level of software maturity framework, that is the repeatable process. So this repeatable process, it includes so many commitments to be made. Along with the commitments, planning your process, configuration management, and quality assurance are also part of your repeatable process. The members who are responsible for successful completion of this repeatable process is the management system itself. So the role of the management system is simply to ensure that projects are successfully completed. The basic principles uh, right. So the basic principles of the software project management goes something like this. First, every project it will have its own plan, and it should be based on the hierarchy of the commitments that are made by the organization. Next, the management should be ready to resolve the natural conflicts between the projects or between the line and the staff organizations that are working on the same project. An oversight and the review system audits are supposed to be made in order to track the progress against the plans that are made, right? So as I stated earlier, these are the four different phases that include your repeatable process. We'll try to understand each and every one now. So first, we'll try to understand what is a commitment here. So commitment is nothing but it is an agreement made by a person to do something for another or any other activity or any other case. So this involves planned completion date and some consideration or payment that is supposed to be made for the work done. For example, there are two programmers who are cooperating on a same project, then in that case, these two programmers must divide the work among themselves. So this general division starts with the agreement. So this agreement could be on distribution of functions or the common interfaces, standard formats, and the naming conventions that are supposed to be used throughout this particular project development. So for either a programmer or to perform for a programmer to perform effectively, everyone must know what the other is being done, and they should be able to rely on its whether it is being done as per the agreement or not. So the common elements of effective commitments will go something like this. Say the persons make commitments by willing. So this particular commitment is not made simply or lightly. So this particular commitment involves the works that is supposed to be done along with the resources, the schedule that is supposed to be followed, and the careful consideration of all the other activities as a part of your project or process. This agreement between the parties is based on what is supposed to be done, who is going to do which part, and when this particular activity is going to be completed. This commitment is open and publicly stated to each other so that everyone will understand what is being done throughout your process. The person, he himself, are responsible to meet the commitment, and he should try to meet the commitment successfully, even if help is needed. They should meet the commitment. Prior to the commitment date, if the person is clear that he cannot meet the commitment date, so an advance notice is to be given and a new commitment is supposed to be negotiated. So these are the basic elements that are taken into consideration while making commitments. So in order to make a software commitment process, uh, everyone meets the people must reach to the top of the organization here. As already said, this is being processed by management team itself. So everyone should be effective in order to complete these commitments. So in order to fulfill this, the senior manager he should sorry. So in order to fulfill this, the senior manager he should require evidence related to what the work that has been done prior in before approving the commitment. So this particular evidence carries a set of questions like first, the work whether is the work has been defined or not. If it is defined, whether it is agreed by the developers and their customer or not. So this is the first question that is supposed to be fulfilled. Next, after this agreement is done, a documented project plan is supposed to be produced. So this documented project plan includes resource estimation, schedule, and cost estimation also. uh, all directly involved parties, they are supposed to agree to this plan, and this plan is supposed to be agreed not orally, it should be in a written format. Next, adequate business and technical preparation is supposed to be made. So this is simply to ensure that the commitment represents a reasonable risk or not. Next, an independent review is supposed to be conducted. So this is to ensure that the planning work was done according to the organization standards and procedures. And lastly, the group or a single group or the total groups that are participating in this particular work, uh, they can acquire the resources as per the required from any other sources, or they must have the resources as per the requirement. So this is how your software process commitment will uh, will start with. Next, here the management team has its own functionality. So what is this management system doing here is every organization is going to have its own goals and objectives. These basically are categorized into four categories. First one, every organization will have a technical and a business strategy. So this strategy is, this strategy should be in a way that it aims at long-term goals and growth rate or the market position of their organization. Second, in order to produce quality products that meets customer needs in a timely and effective way, uh, the organization should work with. So their second objective is to create their software which meets customer needs. Next, this it should assign a mission competitively and economically. Uh, and last, the organization must be able to handle more challenging work. So these are the basic management system objectives components of basic management system objectives, right? So these general objectives are applicable to most of the organizations. In order to demonstrate the inherent conflicts common to most software groups, these general principles will be taken into consideration. Next, we'll try to understand how project plan will go on with. So project planning is nothing but it is a plan which is used to develop which is developed at the beginning of the job itself. So after defining this particular job, if it is required, it can be successfully refined as the work progress. So in order to work with this project plan, there are several principles that are taken into consideration. First, initially the software requirements might be vague and incomplete. So in order to fulfill this, a quality program can only be built from accurate and precise understanding of the user needs. So before you start building a quality program, you are supposed to uh, take accurate and precise requirements from the user. Next, prepare a conceptual design as per the planning basis. And next, you are supposed to subsequently refine the requirements or resource projections, size estimation, schedule, fund, whatever. So all these can be refined as per the requirements or as per the requirements of the planning cycle. And next, when you are clear with your requirements, then the organization need to have a detailed design and implementation strategy. This is developed only after having a clear plan. After the clear plan is created, implementation details are to be established, and details related to this implementation are supposed to be documented in order to plan further requirements or refinements of that particular organization. Along with this, after planning, after documenting these details, the plan which is documented will provide a complete framework for negotiating the time and resources to do the job. So this is how these are the basic principles that are laid down before you start planning any particular project. So this particular planning cycle, in order to start with your planning, a planning life cycle is supposed to be initiated. So this planning life cycle consists of again uh, six different steps. First one, you start with, that is the cycle starts with the initial requirements. Next, based on the demand for every commitment, based on the demand or to the responses, a commitment must be produced with the plan. Third, plan is supposed to be produced by breaking down the work into elements, and this particular breaking down we call it as work breakdown structure. Next, the size of each product element is estimated, and next, in your next life cycle phase, resources are supposed to be projected, and finally, the schedule is produced to the organization. So what does after planning this life cycle, we next plan with the project contents. Plan project You are supposed to project the plan contents to the organization. So the elements of software plan go something like this. First, goals and objectives. So what are these goals and objectives? These are going to describe what is supposed to be done, for whom this particular, for whom, who are the end users of this particular software, and by when this particular software is going to be deployed. Next, work breakdown structure. I already said this is the way of subdividing the project into tasks. So here, each and every task is going to define, and it should be estimated and tracked successfully. Next, project size estimates. So this project size estimate, it is a quantitative assessment of the code. So this helps you in understanding how much code is required in order to produce a product or an element. Next, resource elements. Resource estimates, this is based on the prior experience. So if unless and until the team is having a product prior experience, they will not be able to understand what are the productivity factors that are supposed to be applied in order to yield reasonable estimates of the sources. This is required for each and every work breakdown structure element. And last, project schedule. So based on available project staffing or based on the available project staff or team and available resource estimations, a schedule is supposed to be prepared, and this serves as a key task for the delivery items that are being produced. So this is how your second level of software maturity framework works, that is the repeatable process. Thank you. Let us meet in your next session.